I'm looking at the second floor level now, and we're going to examine, in context of this, the Sanborn map representation of the loft building. There's a handful of adjacent buildings nearly identical next to each other, so that one is may be used as a proxy representation of the other. From the insert menu, we're going to find the image that we had. Where is it? Sanborn. So the original search was for 250 Summer Street. And that would be this building here, this loft building that's adjacent to the water, but the buildings next to it are almost the same in size. The Sanborn map is telling us that all three buildings are 110 feet in height. The tick marks here are telling us that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's try that. Looks like 9 floors, windowed, telling us something about the wall thickness. So I'm going to roughly scale, and this building 262 is the third one here. So I'm going to roughly scale to the outline that I just drew. The oblique side is the back of it. Let's draw another guide to estimate how the angle that we need to rotate it. So let's go to annotate, detail lines, same wide blue line. So I'm just drawing along that edge. And we're going to measure that angle. We'll take the angular dimension. 29.5 degrees, 29.54 degrees. I'm going to take this image. So I'm rotating first. Let's go in this direction. 29.54. So we're horizontally aligned, and then we need another 90 degrees because we have the Summer Street is on my right according to the drawing. So I'm just going to 90 degrees that way. So now we have the correct alignment. Right. We don't have the correct scale of the building quite yet. Take this image and move it and align one of the corners. The bottom left corner is the bottom left, the intersection of grid lines F and 1. So let's measure the distance according to my grid between F and 1, or the horizontal projection of the building. Annotate line. So I want the distance between that grid line and that. So building is supposed to be 91.5 feet, more or less. So I'm going to scale my image, select the image, scale, type in a dimension, that is, and then what it's supposed to be, 91.5, and that should give us the correct size of the building according to Sanborn. Looks fairly good. I'm going to nudge it slightly downwards. So there's the outline. Right? What is this telling us? Adjacent elevators across this party wall. So we can assume that this loft here, 250 Summer Street, is pretty much identical construction as these. I wouldn't be surprised if the grid, column grid, were the same, but we're looking at elements. Elevator shaft, northeastmost or top rightmost stairwell. Okay, let's pause there. That is lesson 2. We have our images in place. Level 1, we have a CAD drawing. Level 2, the Sanborn map representation. If I control tab back and forward, you can see we have a pretty believable layout representation, as evidenced by the the correct location of that shaft. It has an elevator in the middle of it. I didn't mention that. That's what that E means in the center of the Sanborn map. So we have good evidence that we're pretty close to structurally laying out this building. Now what we'll need is a good elevational view, and just a sneak peek ahead. I did open in Photoshop an image that I have not yet scaled. So there's a riser diagram. These are generally schematic, not always to scale, but they indicate the floor-to-floor heights. And what this is telling us is that the building has a first floor the floor-to-floor height from the first floor to second and subsequent third, fourth, and fifth are 12 feet. So the overall height of the building, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 12 plus 84, let's say 8 times 12, it's about 96 feet, a little bit less, and that looks right. So we can use that for the floor-to-floor height.